Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Dallas Cowboys expected to demote veteran QB amid Trey Lance's big spring, Dak Prescott's contract situation. The Dallas Cowboys are expected to make some changes to the quarterback roster before the start of the regular season. The Cowboys could see a major switch-up as Trey Lance takes a leap this offseason, and Dak Prescott's situation with the front office continues to be at a standstill. The Cowboys have Prescott under contract for the 2024 season. After that, the Cowboys must either decide to pay him or let him walk away in free agency. Prescott isn't leaving town without a fight. As previously discussed on GH, head coach Mike McCarthy said Prescott is showing his best stuff at OTAs this spring. Per the Cowboys website, McCarthy said McCarthy was having his best offseason. "I think Dak is having his best offseason program that we've had," McCarthy said. "This atmosphere that we've practiced in with the quarterback and receivers has really hit the mark. I've been very impressed with the quality of work. With the quarterback, when the connection is there in the perimeter realm, and that's been the majority of our physical activity, the connection is better," McCarthy said. "The receivers are playing with more urgency, more reps, the timing is better. The real test will be when we get to training camp." However, the Cowboys need to consider the possibility that Prescott will not be with the team in 2025. They could look to the San Francisco 49ers' former first-round pick Trey Lance. The Cowboys traded for Lance during the preseason last year, and McCarthy said last week that he likes where Lance is headed in OTAs. "Young quarterback comes into a new system. So you got the learning curve, but now starting to get the timing with the routes," McCarthy said. "Trey Lance is close to being a master of the system. He has a really high understanding. He's communicating very well. He looks more and more comfortable. He just needs reps. I know I say that every time I talk about him. He just needs as many reps as he can." The Cowboys could give Lance the QB2 job in the fall to see if he has the potential to be Prescott's successor in 2025. That would leave Cooper Rush as the odd man out. KD Drummond with Cowboys Wire developed a 53-man roster projection before training camp. They have Lance being demoted to the practice squad for the upcoming season. Rush spent years on the active roster as a backup for the Cowboys since they signed him as an undrafted free agent in 2017. He briefly spent time on the New York Giants practice squad in 2020 before they released him in September of that season. Rush would sign with the Cowboys a few weeks later. Rush has not been a valuable backup for the Cowboys, but he's not the long-term solution at the starting position. Lance has a chance to be a starter. The Cowboys need to find Lance's ceiling. Rush could help the Cowboys in 2024, just in a new role. Dallas Cowboys star QB Dak Prescott says he's having his best offseason. There are tons of rumors and speculation on Dak Prescott's future with the Dallas Cowboys, but Dak is focused on this upcoming season and says that he's having his best offseason to date. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy is very impressed with Dak thus far. "I think Dak is having his best offseason program that we've had. This atmosphere that we've practiced in with the quarterback and receivers has really hit the mark. I've been very impressed with the quality of work." Dak Prescott also has had a lot to say, with rumors like his next contract with or not with Dallas is rumored to be earth-shattering. Dak is very confident in his team, despite some big losses like Tony Pollard to Tennessee. "You don't win games with just talent," said Prescott of the team losing veteran talent this offseason. "You don't win games on paper, and talent is really not decided on paper. I understand what it looks like, what it may look like from the outside. I understand the lack of moves creates that conversation, but I'm confident." Dak Prescott has more confidence in his second season under Mike McCarthy's offense, stating that things are faster. "Things are faster off the line from the huddle," said Prescott. "Through the play to the scramble drill, and, if the play doesn't work, we are truly understanding. It's what this game means to me. I talk about it every season. My focus is always getting better in every way that I can, every aspect of my game, and making sure I push the other people around me. There is some serious doubt in the Cowboys, after another terrible postseason after a great regular season, which ended with a blowout loss to Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Despite that, Dak and the Cowboys are motivated from the disappointment in multiple ways. I mean, that's got to motivate you individually, as a man, and then obviously as a football player too, said Prescott of the team's uncharacteristic performance in the 2023 playoffs. At this point, it's about improving on where we are. We're in a much better place right now than we were a year ago at this time. It's about continuing to make those steps. And, yeah, that'll always be a motivation factor, depending on who you are, what you did in that game and how it played out. Proposed blockbuster trade has Cowboys swap CeeDee Lamb for Steelers star. The Dallas Cowboys face a decision when it comes to the future of star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, who is holding out of mandatory minicamp practices while he seeks a new contract. Lamb is heading into the final season of his rookie deal with Dallas. Chances are the two sides will eventually agree to a lucrative contract extension. Yet, if the Cowboys are unable to reach a new agreement with Lamb, could the team consider a potential blockbuster trade? Bleacher Report's Brad Gagnon explored this idea with 4 potential trade packages involving Lamb. One of the more intriguing options would send Lamb to the team's historic rival Pittsburgh Steelers. Dallas would acquire Steelers standout receiver George Pickens and a second-round pick in the proposed deal. George Pickens is established in the NFL despite being just 23, Gagnon wrote in a June 6, 2024 story titled 4 Trade Packages for CeeDee Lamb that Cowboys couldn't deny amid NFL holdout. Still, the Steelers could opt to maximize their weapons for Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Because Pickens is coming off a 1,000-yard sophomore season, this would be slightly closer to a player-for-player deal, with Dallas saving money and gaining some draft capital and Pittsburgh doing everything in its power to get this right, Gagnon added. This move makes quite a lot of sense, considering the Steelers are in better cap shape than the Cowboys. Some Cowboys fans would surely object to the idea, but let's consider what owner Jerry Jones said earlier this offseason. Unprompted, Jones discussed the idea of paying Lamb versus adding multiple players for the same price. He's out there and he's more valuable than anybody else, Jones remarked on March 26, per DallasCowboys.com's Nick Harris. But that valuable, to have to give up 4 or 5 players to have him, you have to get that reconciled. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a lot quicker and easier said than done. Whoever has CeeDee, and I hope it's us, they're going to use him, Jones added. You have to. You just have to get that kind of mileage out of him. What has he shown us? That he's capable of carrying that load. We've gotta have focus. The good news for Cowboys fans is Jones says a lot of things that rarely come true. Dallas might have learned its lesson after trading away Amari Cooper to the Cleveland Browns for a late-round pick swap. The move did not turn out great for the Cowboys, but it did allow Lamb to emerge as one of the NFL's top receivers. Pickens is a solid wideout who is coming off 63 receptions for 1,140 yards and 5 touchdowns in 17 appearances during the 2023 season. The receiver is also on a team-friendly 4-year, $6.7 million rookie deal, which could have appeal to Dallas. Pickens has 2 seasons remaining on this contract, but eventually the receiver will be due for a raise, just like Lamb. Dallas can continue to kick the can down the road, but if the team wants to have an elite receiver, the franchise is going to have to eventually pay. Spotrac projects Lamb's market value to be a 4-year, $136.1 million contract. The price is only going up for star receivers like Lamb. Ultimately, the Cowboys are likely to come to their senses and ink the playmaker to a lucrative new deal. This means passing on enticing trades for the star wideout. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of George Pickens? Leave your opinion in the comments.